Welcome back, everyone. The video you're about to watch is part of a live stream series that I do on Twitch where I teach people how to build an Android app from start to finish by building a task management application. I've removed the episode numbers from the videos because it's designed that each one can be consumed individually. Each week, I pick a particular topic or feature and focus on just that for the live stream. If you are interested in watching the full playlist, check out the links in the description below. But if you just found this one and it intrigues you, I hope you enjoy it and let me know what you think. So, what we're going to do now um, is when we reschedule, we're going to try to make it so that we don't allow the user to pick a date that was in the past. Now, if I look at the task list content, um, let's look at the library for date picker. Um, okay, so what I was looking at here is something to note that what was I trying to note? Um, there's no sort of veto here where I can give it like a specific date range. It looks like I can give it a year range, which is interesting. Um, but I cannot give it a date range. And I guess that might make sense. So I think what we would have to do in this situation is if the user picks a date that is invalid, um, we would show an error message to the user. That is what I would do here. So, how do we do that? And do we want to write tests first? Do we want to go full TDD on this today? Nah, I want to make it work. Um, I'm gonna cut corners today. Unless someone in chat yells at me and says I should do it otherwise. But we can start with some of the data logic here. So yeah, let's do yeah, okay, hold on. Let's go to our you're yelling. Okay, that's fine. You can yell. Okay. Um I mean you didn't type it in all caps, so you couldn't have been that serious about it. Um we can go into a task list view state here. So this is annoying because we already have an error message property. Um, so what do we name this other error message? Like, do we call it like we could just make it a snack bar message is what we could call it. Let's do that. Let's have a snack bar message, and this could be UI text. That'll be null. Um, let's go ahead and save that to our dictionary so that stays away. And now that we have this, okay, let's let's use this. We'll do tests first today. But there's a couple things that I need to note. So one is also that in our I do assume the error will be shown to a snack bar. You're absolutely right. Um, you're absolutely right. But um, I could call it like alert message. Um, we could do that. And so we could say like so we could say unlike error message, this message will be presented to the user in some alerting fashion, like a snack bar, dialogue, or other way of grabbing their attention. And then we could put like error message. So we could say, unlike alert message, this is used to signify a problem requesting data, such as an inability to fetch tasks, um, it will be shown within the content of the screen. And we can specify, so I like this. This used to signify a problem requesting data and say, this signifies a problem processing user input. Boom. Love it. That is how we're going to say that. This signifies a problem processing user input. So now we've got documentation explaining the difference between error message and alert message. So let's go over to our handy dandy view model. Oh, it was right there. Taskless view model. And let's add a couple things here. So we're not going to change this yet. We will need to. But we can say we do so with the new. I'm trying to follow the new guidelines around UI events, and one thing is that message is part of our state. Like this is the message that should be shown. But to make sure we're not perpetually showing that, we need something to like once the message has been shown, we need to clear that from our state so it doesn't be shown get shown again. So let's make a public function and just say, on alert message shown. And what we'll do here, well, to do, we'll say not yet implemented. But what this will do is this will clear the error message from our UI state. So we've got the required functionality for doing this error message logic. So let's go ahead and write some tests. So one thing we could do is over in our view model, a lot of this can be the same, but we'll want to add, say, show alert message. And what this will do is we'll say view model. Why do I keep doing that? Alert message, on alert message shown. And let's go into our view model test. So I'm going to follow the same logic for rescheduling a task. And let's do this. So we'll say prevent rescheduling task to past date. So we'll keep the list for the task that we mock the same. We'll change, our date we're using to yesterday. We'll do -days1. We will click the reschedule button. Let's ignore this assertion. I've never seen a tutorial showing a pattern for the famous undo action many Google apps have in their snack bar. Well, I think we could absolutely do that. We could have like an undo the reschedule. Uh, Let me track that in an issue. We'll see how late it is when I finish the current stuff. To undo rescheduling a task. Or we could do this. We could also do this for like completion. Yeah, or like if I mark something as done, but I didn't mean to. We don't have deletion, but we have like done. So like if I move this to done, it goes to the what? Ooh, we found a bug. Um, but it goes to the bottom and there's no way to change this. So what if I'm not actually done? Um, so let's do both. Allow user to undo rescheduling a task. And then we can also make a new one that says allow user to undo marking a message as done. And this would be an interesting thing to think about because now we're talking about two different snack bars that each trigger a different action, but they live in the same screen. And that's an interesting thing. We can get back to that. Great idea. We'll see how late it is when I finish the validation work that we're doing here. And if we have time, if we're still feeling strong, we'll try to make that work. Okay, so mock task list result for dates, build the view model, click the reschedule button. We'll run that assertion, that's fine. Reschedule task for date. And now instead of assert task rescheduled for date, we'll say a certain view state. And what I'm also going to expect, actually, I'm going to say that when we, if we can't reschedule it, um, let's assume that we're not going to, what am I trying to say? I'm going to assume that we clear out the task to reschedule and make them click the reschedule button again. But we could consider putting like a retry button in the snack bar and letting them pick like the new date. But let's punt that. Let's punt any snack bar actions to later. For now, we'll say that if they try to reschedule for the past, we're going to clear out our task to reschedule, and we're going to set our alert message to be something. And we should probably use a resource text here, and we need to make a string resource. So let's do that real quick. Let's go to strings.xml, and let's say error. What do we have actually? We already have this scheduled date in past that says, please select a date today or in the future. And I wonder, um, I think I'm just going to reuse that. Scheduled date in past. So we're going to assume that we have that alert message. And then let's make part of this test, we could say, um, show alert message, and then we could say a certain view state should be this same logic, except now, after we show the alert message, we're going to expect that to be cleared out and for that to be null as well. So this test, just to recap, we load data, we assert that we got the data, we try to reschedule for yesterday, and we assert that we see an error message. Then we mark that we've shown the alert message, and then we assert that our view state is with the alert message as null. So if I run this now, this should fail in the classic TDD fashion while it's running. I just want to check on this, see if this is still running as well. It is. We can't merge it yet. Okay. Um, while it's running, we can go over to stream history here, and we can put reschedule task validation. Um, cool, they're running. Cool, this failed. Um, because we expected an alert message, but it wasn't there. So let's implement that logic to make that test pass. We will go into the view model. And let's say here, we'll say if new date, if the new date is less than today, there's nice date comparisons. We could say view state that update. We'll do int.copy. Task to reschedule will be null. And then we can say alert message is UI text resource text. All right, I'll string that error. Scheduled date in past. And then we can just return here. Instead of putting an else block here, we'll just return, and then otherwise we fall down into these things. And then in this one, when the alert message is shown, we do view state.update, copy, and then we say alert message equals null. Okay, now let's run our test again. And here's hoping they all pass. But let's talk about the bug that I found. So if I have a task, okay, just like this, does anyone have an idea why the date picker showed up? I don't know if you saw what I did earlier. Let me show you again. If I hit cancel, there isn't a callback, or at least I haven't implemented a callback to know that the user like just closed the dialog. So in our, oh nice, our test passed by the way. So let's push this. We'll say performing input validation on uh, rescheduling logic. Actually, another way I might do this, um, there's still more I might do here, actually. I might rethink this even further. Um, uh, but let's fix that bug. So inside our task list content, we get this callback on date change, but I don't think we get, yeah. Oh, we do have an on close request. Okay. Um, but basically what I'm trying to tell y'all is if the user just closes the dialog without selecting a new date, this callback is never triggered. So that task to reschedule is still in our state. And so the next time this view gets composed, the dialog shows again for that date. And we want to prevent that dialog from showing again. So I would say if the user reschedules and they click cancel, when this happens, I think we should just clear the rescheduled date or the date to reschedule, task to reschedule. We should just clear it. The user obviously doesn't want to reschedule that task. So I think what we could do is um, why does it get composed again if nothing changes? Well, in my case, like when I mark something as done, the list changes. So my content gets recomposed because the list changed, as one example. Another one was if I hit the plus button and I navigate away and I come back, then it's recomposed because it's coming back into view. So I want to see. So we get this on close request, which gives us a dialog state. And what does this give us? Um, I wanted to see if this would tell me which button was clicked here, but it doesn't look like it. So let's see if we can dig into the source code a little bit and try to figure out what happens when that negative button is triggered. Um, uh, on dismissed request, on closed request. Huh. So how do we do this? If I clear the value, if I did something like anytime the dialogue is dismissed, I clear the value. I'm worried I could have a race condition because what if the on date selected and, the dismiss call happened like at competing times? Um, Maybe I should look more at that implementation. Like, what does date picker do? Um, uh, huh, dialogue callback. Right. Huh. This is why even instead of going right into the date picker, this is why like a separate screen would be nice because it could have its own state here. Um, let's do something just to. Did I ever add timber? I don't think I did. I didn't. Okay, let's do something just for learning's sake. Um, let's say closing dialogue, and let's also add a log here, and we'll say um, on date selected is called when user presses OK. Wait. Oh no, that was another task. Okay. Um, let's put in some log statements here, and let's see if we can look at the console and see what gets called first between on date change and on closed request. And maybe we can do something with that information. Uh, okay. Um, so we're going to reschedule this. We'll just pick the same day. Wait, so is on closed request not called at all? That would be good to know. Oh, wait, what? On closed request is not being called at all. Like this isn't being triggered. What the hell? Oh, oh, I see. I kind of see. It's almost like I need to hide it myself then too. Wait, no. On closed request. The default value is tell the state to hide. Interesting though that I'm not giving it. Is that what it means by wait, did I break this? Why did you Oh, maybe that's so I can't tap outside? Um oh wait, wow, now I'm getting a bunch of closing dialogues? Oh, yes, okay, I see. I'm onto something here. That is when I tap outside, the on closed request is called. So this I would have to hide it myself. This would be like another step. Okay, so we figured that out. This is a way to determine when the user taps outside the dialog and we're trying to close it. And that explains why this reschedule gets stuck, but um, yeah, so that closes the dialog. When I hit OK, I get date selected. And if I just hit cancel, I don't get any callback. So I need to figure out how to get the negative button callback as well. And I'm surprised this library doesn't give me. Oh, wait, is it? Oh my gosh. The answer was right in front of me the whole time. I can provide a click listener on the button itself where I create the button. So here we could say, like, user tapped outside dialog. still need to clear. Um, but then on like the negative button, we're doing text, and then we could say, well, why does it have default value? Probably because by default you just want to close the dialog. Um, user tap negative button. There. Let's make sure this is what I expect. Um, so let's run this. Let's pull up our logcat. That's not the logcat. Um, and we'll try this out. And then knowing this, we can proxy up like a little callback here. Yep. Okay, cool. So let's do something like let's do something like in our view model, we could say like on rescheduling canceled. And then we could just do view state that update, um, copy task to reschedule. I'm gonna even make this more. I'm gonna say like on rescheduling completed. What's that white bar in the bottom? On the phone? Do you mean this little white bar? And then I'm gonna leverage that. Uh, this is just part of the Android system. That's like the little navigation bar that like shows up at the bottom. So this is where I can like this is where I touch to swipe between apps uh, to go up. Yeah, it's very similar to the bar at the bottom of iOS apps. But this is what you see when you have full gesture navigation instead of the three buttons. The three buttons you see here are actually part of the casting tool I use called Visor. They're not part of my phone screen. Yeah, I've gotten used to it. It's been on by default for like the last couple releases, or at least the last couple pixels. It took some getting used to, but you get used to it like everything else, I guess. Um, okay, so with that, let's do something like this. So let's go into our task list content again. And here we could say like, let's call this on canceled. I don't know if I want to call it on dismissed because on dismissed feels positive, like it's always dismissed, but I don't know, maybe we use this. So our dialog composable here can be notified when it's dismissed. So in the negative case, we do on dismissed dot invoke. Actually, I think we could just pass this off like that. And then here we could say on dismissed dot invoke, and then we hide. Um, let's get rid of that log statement. And so here we could say on rescheduling completed. Uh, why do I use invoke instead of just um, calling it directly? That's a good question. Well, here I could actually just pass the lambda like that. But the reason is because I just feel like this is not intuitive to me. Um, I guess here it is, but sometimes I see this logic around function types and it's not immediately obvious, where I think like the invoke is just much more readable. It doesn't leave anything up for like misinterpretation. Um, it's also the thing like if I forget these, like this is still valid syntax that's gonna compile, and like I'm not going to realize that I did something wrong. So if I get in the habit of like always calling invoke, I feel like that just helps sells it for me. It's definitely personal preference. Yeah, but that's my preference. Um, cool. So now we can pass in when rescheduling is completed. So on the task list screen, um, we can do rescheduling completed, view model on rescheduling completed. And let's run this. So the way we'll test it is we will um, start to reschedule a task, we will cancel it, and then make sure that the next time we render, the dialog doesn't come up again. So let's add another, but that is not what I meant to say, but you know, we'll put it there. Um, okay, so if I reschedule this, and then I cancel it, and then I mark something else as done, the dialog does not show up again. So this is good. So we can say handle clearing task to reschedule when user dismisses the dialog without selecting a date. Okay, I feel good about that. Let's head on over to the GitHubs. Our last branch failed. Um, ah, because of UI tests. Okay, hold on. Let's go fix those after we push this. Okay, so we'll wait for this to push. Okay, it pushed. So let's check out our last branch. Let's go to our task list content test. This is a UI test, and this just failed because we added, uh, a new field here that was not added inside our test. Oh, and this is the one that, of course, requires some stuff. Google I/O does feel far away. Um, so we just have to fix all of these. And then let's run these locally just to save us some time compared to waiting for GitHub Actions to run. And then we'll go back to our most recent branch, and then we'll probably have to fix those UI tests there and also add another function. Um, but it'll be fine. Yeah, I bet there's probably gonna be a lot on large screens. They seem to be moving forward at full steam towards that stuff, which is pretty cool. I support this. I think large screens are a good thing. Um, Anything they could do to make it easier on developers is great as well. So, um, I guess we haven't run our UI test yet today, so this might take a little bit of waiting on Gradle. Okay, so yeah, I'm still feeling pretty good about this. So we'll get this working. We'll get the other branch working. I guess actually something that we didn't get to yet with the branch we were just on is we added all the logic around validating a date and we updated tests, but we never added the snack bar. So we'll go back, we'll fix the UI tests as they stand right now. Uh, that's weird. Why did I lose? Why did I lose connection? That was an awkward time for me to lose. My stream is still going, right? Okay, so it's just my phone got disconnected. It's an awkward time to lose debugging. Huh. Maybe there's something weird going on here. Well, let's go ahead and just commit this locally. And I don't think it was anything with the instrumentation runner, but we'll try to reconnect in a second. Come on. Always something. This is the problem with live streaming. It's always something. Um, no idea why I can't debug wirelessly anymore. Um, so maybe we try the old school way and we use wires or whatever it is people do, whatever we used to do back in ancient times. Right? What are wires? I don't know. They don't work either. What's going on here? I think it's this wire that doesn't like to work well. But I swear, I use wireless debugging all day long, and then I go to do some live coding, and now it doesn't want to work. I don't know why this wire doesn't want to work either. Um, I've got like 10 million USB-C cords in this apartment, so I gotta have something that should work. Um, let's try this one out. Let's see. Except it's kind of far away from. Or wait, oh no, that won't work because that's not C to C. Um, I think this one is C to C. So let's bear with me. Um, oh yeah, maybe I should try. I didn't think of the classic turn it off and back on again. But let's try this other cable I have real quick and see if the wired version will work out there. Um, okay, looks like it. I definitely need to restart Visor now, but it looks like it's going to work. Nice, okay. So I guess let's try just for fun. Let's try those UI tests again and see if they work out. Um, but we did push, so they should be running on GitHub this time. Oh, they are running. Uh, and it looks like they all passed too. Nice. Let's try our unit tests. If our unit tests pass, I'm just going to merge this pull request rather than waiting on GitHub. Um, and then we can switch back to our other branch and go back to fixing all that stuff. Do, 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 do. Looking good, looking good. I wonder what tests are slow. because I'm surprised it's taking so long. Ooh, parallel test execution. We don't have a lot of tests in different modules, although I don't know if that's related. But I should check that out. Um, oh, did that pick up my dog barking? I think I saw the thing move. I don't know what he's all worked up about, but make sure everything's okay. I think he's just being dramatic out there. Come on. Nice, they passed. So we're just gonna go ahead and merge this pull request. Um, okay, so let's do this. Let's do um, okay, actually this is fine. So now we'll check out our last one, and we need to fix these tests again. Um, on task rescheduled, and then on rescheduling completed, we need to add that to each of these tests. And then what I'm going to do is run our tests again. Actually, no, I'm not. We're going to save time. Now that we did that, let's go ahead and commit this. Um, and what we are going to do is we're going to try working on the snack bar logic that we haven't done yet. So I think what I'm hoping is that thought this was pretty straightforward and composed, but I can't say that I've done it yet. So we use a scaffold, which I thought had a snack bar built in. Oh, is this going to be a material 3 issue? Um, it's possible. So we're using a material 3 scaffold. Um, I want to try. So there is a. Yep. All right, check this out. In the material 2, like the the stable material UI for compose. I don't know how well you can read this autocomplete, but there is a parameter called a snack bar host. Uh, is what you can use to show a snack bar right inside a scaffold. But we're using the Material 3 API, which apparently doesn't support that yet. So before I go trying to downgrade to support a snack bar, I'm going to check out Compose Material 3, and we're going to see if there is any new release. Um, oh, holy crap. I'm on like alpha like 5 or 6, so we're on alpha oh 09. It's entirely possible. But if I search the word snack bar in releases, it looks like it's still not there. Um, they added a switch, they added drop downs. Ooh, shape parameter is cool. Um, material 3 text fields, interesting. Um, yeah, so something we could do. Oh, yeah, see, this project is on Alpha O2. So let's update our Material 3 dependency real quick. but I don't think this is going to give me the snack bar support that I want. And this is the problem of using something that's still in alpha stages. Um, and we can decide, do we want to roll back to a Material 2 scaffold? Do we want to try to lift some of that logic and write our own Material 3 version to get it working? I don't know the answer to that. Um, I don't. Do I need it? I don't think so. Um, so let's. But it would be nice. And here's why I think it would be nice. So if I were to look at this, just to show y'all real quick. So let's do this. Let's do stack bar host, right? Um, and then I think I can do like an if uh, alert message is not equal to null. We could do stack bar host state dot show stack bar message being view state dot alert message dot get value or get string. Um, does this need to be in a coroutine script? Oh, interesting. Uh, oh, oh my god. I need to get the message from within the composable context and then what the heck? Okay, hold on. Let's do some Googling. I'm trying to figure this out manually. Uh, let's Google around snack bars and Jetpack Compose, and let's see what we if there's anything in the official docs. Um, I don't think I can add composable onto this. Um, let's see here though. Um, oh, I see. This is kind of cool. Okay, they use a launched effect here with the host state. Okay, so then we could do launched effect with stack bar host state, and then we can launch the. Okay, so that's how we show it, and then we could say, and then we could do something like when stack bar result. Then we could say is uh, when it's dismissed. Then we would need to call back. We would need to say, on alert message shown. We would need to do this again. Have some callback. Say the alert message was shown. Let's not worry about state yet. Let's make sure this even works. But we'll hit say notify VM that message was shown and clear it so it doesn't show again. Let's try this out and let's see if it works out. And then we'll see maybe there was. We can look into how this works to see if we can try to show it in a Material 3 world because I probably don't need the scaffold, but it seems like this being able to just supply a snack bar host like this makes it so much easier for me that I don't have to worry about managing the snack bar myself. But um, let's see how this goes first. And it looks like it's rebuilding, taking a while. Ah, here we go. Not too bad. So to trigger this, I should just be able to try to reschedule for a previous date, and we should get where we need. All right, it didn't work. Also, you can see that the colors here changed, I think. It's not immediately obvious, but because I think actually weird, why does it look I think because we had like an orangish color theme for this app in the Material 2 version. Or I don't know. We had something weird going on. But anyways, why didn't this show? Um okay. This is being this is rendering when we get the message. But the snack bar is not showing up. Well, that's just weird. That shouldn't be there. What's happening? What did I break? What did I break? Oh god. It's being super laggy now. Let's try this again. Does the snack bar host state not work? Is that is it buggy? Let's look at the docs on this. Component to host snack bars that are pushed to be shown via snack bar host state that show snack bar. Usually it's a snack bar host. Someone didn't finish their documentation here. Um, uh, Host for snack bars to be used in scaffold to properly show, hide, dismiss items based on material specification in the host state. This component with default parameters comes built in with scaffold if you need to show a default, blah blah. Okay, so maybe the issue is that I shouldn't be creating my own snack bar host. Maybe the idea is this is intended for if you're creating your own snack bar. That's kind of what I might have picked up from that. So let's try changing this. Let's remember. Um, so how did they do it here? Right? They uh, get the scaffold state. Remember scaffold state, and then they do. So then here we could say um, the alert message is not null, scaffold state dot stack bar host state. Um, we can actually just reference this. Stack bar host state is scaffold state dot stack bar host state. Let's try this out. And then in our scaffold, we'll need to pass that in, I'm assuming. Let's try this out. This might be what it is. I think after digging through the docs, I think in the scaffold where it allows you to define a snack bar host, I think that's actually like if you want to customize what the snack bar looks like. So that's probably why I was laggy. If I was saying like I'm trying to show a snack bar in the place that's supposed to be rendering a snack bar, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's do this here. Let's go back. Okay. Nice. That is our actual snack bar showing up there. So yeah, that's cool. Um, I think if we did change this back to material 3, yeah, see, this doesn't consume a scaffold state. So this is our problem, is that the material 3 scaffold does not give us a way to show a snack bar. Um, and I don't want to, um, I mean, I could like copy a bunch of this over and try to make it myself, but I don't know if I want to do all that. Um, So that is the debate. So we could just add a comment for now and say we reverted to a compose a material 2 scaffold so that we can leverage the ability to show snack bars. This does lead to inconsistent UI inside the task list screen, um, but we can revisit that once um, snack bars are implemented in compose material 3. Okay. Um, so that's it. We do need to add this notifies. We need to say, on alert message shown. It's just a callback. Say like, hey, the alert message was shown, so we know to clear it from our state. So we can invoke the on alert message shown. Um, we need to update our preview. Um, we've got a, the docs for the material 3 scaffold. Is that what we just got here? Um, oh, wait, this does say, huh, you're right. We do see a stack bar host here. Why don't I? Uh, why didn't I see that? Oh, you know what? You know what I think? Is it possible that? Oh no. I was wondering if there was some sort of like sub-module that might be missing. Um, okay, well, let's keep going with this real quick. Or rather, that's actually fine. Let's go back. Oh, I see snack bar host here. Um, you're right. That was not there earlier. Um, It looks like it's not as fully implemented as the other one. Um, because snack bar host just seems to be um, to show a snack bar. Use snack bar host state. That show snack bar. But how do I get a reference to that snack bar show host state? Like it's not even in here. I think I need to manage it myself. Um, somehow. Like let's try so something we could try here. Um, so there is a material 3 snack bar. There is a material 3 snack bar host. Um, I'm just wondering if it's possible to be like to manage this myself somehow. Like, okay, so can we do um so that scaffold state, that snack bar host state doesn't work with the new material 3 setup. Um or does it actually? Um no, it doesn't. This is a different type. Yeah, this is a different type. Um but hold on, let's try this. Let's try snack bar host state. Let's do remember. Let's do snack bar host state for material 3. Um, get rid of the scaffold state here. And then this is a little different because this will be snack bar result. Let's clean up our imports here. Hold on. Will that do it? It might just be that we had to create our own snack bar host, which is a little different than the way the other one did it. It's a little bit different, but this might work. Um, let's run this. Actually, hold on. We'll have to go to task list screen because we also need, on alert method shown. Um, cool. Yeah, I guess the only thing that is like uh, different is the fact that we don't have a scaffold state, um, and the fact that we have to like create a snack bar host ourselves. Oh, is that what they? Oops, I think I closed your thing. Let me pull that up again. Oh, so they do show an example here. Um, oh, no, they just show to show a snack bar here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the docs do exactly what I did, but in a total guessing manner. Um, that's fun. Okay. So, yes, now this looks good. We're back to our Material 3 UI here. Actually, wait, did I run? Is this a new build? Let me just double check. Yes. Okay. So, let's try this in the Material 3 world. Oh, beautiful. Amazing. Thank you. I'm so glad we got it working. So let's get rid of these lines here. Um, why is this yelling at me? Um, yeah, we can just leave this as like a to-do. We don't need to do anything here yet. Maybe I'll put it there so it'll crash and I don't forget about it. But okay, cool. So this will say showing stack bar. Amazing. So that's exciting. We will get the pull request working. And then I think I was really excited about doing the action handling, but I think we might call it. Um, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I push failed, so we're not calling it yet. Long method. Oh yeah, this is long. Let's do. Let's just take the. Can we take this part out and maybe do Let's just say. Well, there's a lot that gets passed into here. What the heck? Um, I think I can manage the scope in here. Oops. I'm trying to clean up this long composable. Um, the snack bar host state needs to stay where the scaffold is, but the rest of this we could put in its own function. Um, Mustafa, thank you for the follow. And we could call this like a task list snack bar. Um, add the names to the call arguments. Why is this one yelling at me? No, because this could be null. So we'll say if. Oh, I don't even need the full view state here. I can say if alert message not equal to null. So that'll clean up this a little bit. Okay, I like this better. Hopefully this fixes detect. Cleaning up long method. I want to see it again. I want to see it in action. That was great. Okay, cool. I like how well that works. Okay, it still failed. Is the method still too long? It's still too long. Okay. How do we make this even more readable? Um, this is going to get its own private function. This is going to be ask list loading content. So for those of you who missed what was happening here, I have a pre-push get hook that runs static analysis checks in my code base, and I didn't stop to explain what just happened. So that is why it says push failed. And if I scroll up, what it tells me right here, the check that is broken is long method, and then it tells me like what the threshold is. So here it's actually right on the border. So let me look at the other one. That's too far up. But we have a configuration that says methods in our code base should not exceed 60 lines. That is the default, and we're saying that like any method that is longer than 60 lines needs to be broken up. Now I could change that threshold. I could suppress it for a given function, and sometimes you have to do stuff like that. Sometimes you just have a lot of code. Um, but Instead, I take this as an opportunity to say, hey, I need to break down this function to make it more readable. So that is why I just took a bunch of code and extracted things out into their own function. So this long content function, it still becomes a little more readable. Um, it's going to read like a poem. Yeah, it would. Um, so hopefully this works here. And then we can get the pull request up. And maybe we could play around with the action thing, or at least start to. We can at least start to. Um, let's get the pull request up. We're going to have conflicts. We'll figure that out. Um, okay. Have a good night, CP. Thank you for coming by. Um, yeah, of course. Thank you for your help with the snack bar issue because I would not have found that. I did not dig as deeply as you did, and I really appreciate that. Um, input validation for rescheduling a task. We could say prevents the user from rescheduling a task to a date in the past. Call this enhancement. Make the pull request. Let's figure out what our. Ooh, we've got a lot of merge conflicts. Um, let's see if we can resolve these through the GitHub UI. So this one, that's an easy conflict to resolve. That's just the markdown file. So believe we can mark as resolved. This one, yep, we are just adding that other property. So we can go ahead, mark as resolved. Oh, but we're not done. Oh, right. This happened several times in the file. Uh-huh. So we're just going to keep cleaning these up. Looks good. Um, looks like we have some import things. I think this is good. Yep, and we added those parameters. Uh, yeah, we changed this. Oh man, it's been a while since I've done like more complicated um, merge conflicts in the GitHub UI, but I think we're doing okay. Um, those all look good. Again, we want to take these two new lines. Um, ooh, this is fun. That's what this function should look like. If return coroutine on rescheduling completed, that is where we update our view state. And then we have the on alert message shown. That all looks right to me. We're going to use these docs up here. Make sure this new property gets included. Nice. Mark that one as resolved. Add this function here. Mark that as resolved. Ooh, this one's a little longer. It's okay. We know what to do here. Oh, I think it's just adding this test. Oh, and then, yeah, the diff is a little weird looking at that, but I think that's okay. If this breaks it, that's fine. We're going to manually check it real quick. So I can do that. So let's do Gradle clean build connected check. So this will run all of our checks against this branch real quick, and hopefully things will work out. Um, and yeah, that's if this works. Maybe we will um, call it after that. Just checking. We'll see. Yeah. What do we want to do? I am interested in doing some of the action stuff. I think that would be fun. Um, it's definitely uh, an interesting problem to solve. The idea of you have some action triggered by a snack bar, or you have some action that happens and you want to undo it. And I've seen some different ways of approaching it. You could do the action and then actually undo it. You could like pretend you did the action and then wait until the user says otherwise. Um, or I don't know, any combination of those things, I guess. In the example of like rescheduling a task, if we were to show an undo button here, the thing I would like is um, I would like it as if the task actually changed, and then we what's the word? And then we because I would want to see it like removed from the UI, show me the snack bar, and then if I press the button, it would just come back onto the screen. That's what I would like to see. Um, and I think that is definitely a little more complicated than I want to do tonight. So join us next Wednesday, and that's the sort of thing that we will work on. Um, so instead, right now, what we'll do is we'll hang out together until these tests pass, and then we'll go raid somebody, and that'll be it for the night. So feel free to hang out. We'll probably, I'm looking at my followers right now. I don't see any other software people up online right now, but we can go hang out with the Rocket League community. My favorite thing to do after streaming on Wednesdays. Um, but let's make sure these tests pass before we do anything like that. Um, it should not take too long for this to pass. Oh, Arthur, or Arthur, yeah, Arthur, I don't know. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad it's helping you. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out. Um, I'm so glad it could be helpful. I really appreciate that. It's something I've spent a lot of time and effort on making sure that it is. Oh my God, WebShark with the gifted sub. Thank you so much, WebShark. Now you should have a nice little cupcake next to your name in chat. So give a thanks to WebShark for that. And you can watch ad free, which I never run ads. It's a thing I can do, uh, but I don't ever run them. Um, but I don't know if Twitch ever like pops them up. But now you won't have to worry about that. Yeah, I definitely that's one of the reasons I upload to YouTube because I know the time frame in which I stream is not helpful to everybody. I also know that I'm like 3 weeks behind on the YouTube channel, but I will try to get that up soon. Um, yeah. Okay, it looks like our unit test passed, so we should just need to wait a few more moments and see if the instrumentation tests still pass. Um, here's hoping. Um, come on. Wish it would go a little faster. But, um, but yeah, also for anyone else who's watching, if you don't know that these are added to YouTube, feel free to go sub over on YouTube. We just recently passed like 1,500 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. Thank you for all of that support. Um, we passed like a couple weeks ago 700 followers on Twitch. So that is also really exciting. Thank you all for that. Um, I know I try not to put a lot of stock into the numbers. It's always easier said than done. Um, the fact that I'm helping at least one other person is really exciting to me. But it's just crazy to see how much this community has grown, um, that people are learning something from this. A year ago, um, or gosh, coming up on a year and a half, that I've been live streaming Android development once a week, and uh, back then there was next to no Android streamers, but now we've got like Code with the Italians. Um, Maya has been doing some Android streaming. I've been seeing some other folks who have started streaming or are thinking about it. So it's really cool to see this community just growing, seeing people learning and sharing things with others. It's been really great. So it would be really great if these tests would run because I'm running out of fluff. But maybe I will stop with the fluff because if it fails, we can either pick it up. Ooh, you got Code with the Italian stickers. I still don't have any of those. I think Seb was supposed to send me some, and I don't think he did. But I should honestly just go to their merch site and buy them because they deserve the support. So, the whatever they get from it. Um, yeah, why don't I switch over? These tests are still running. I will watch them. If there's anything, if it's a small compilation fix, I'll just do that and merge this. If there are any notable bugs that I find, this is where we'll pick up next week. So let's go ahead and get a raid going. We're going to go over to my favorite person, Nick Lando.